Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to this explainer. Think of this as your absolute ultimate playbook for navigating and really mastering the Clipster economy. 2026 is just an incredibly unique time for this specific ecosystem. The old days of needing this massive established following to secure brand deals, yeah, those are fading fast. If you want to monetize short form content right now, literally from scratch, you are in the exact right place. We're going to unpack exactly how this whole ecosystem works using the mechanics, data, and strategies straight from our source material, so you can start capitalizing on it immediately.
So, what if I told you that you don't need thousands of followers to start making real money creating short content? Sounds crazy, right? But the reality of the modern creator economy is that thousands of creators are earning substantial income through Clipster every single day, and they're often starting with absolutely zero audience. No audience at all. But look, here's the catch, and it's a really big one. Most beginners are completely losing out. They're making these simple, incredibly preventable mistakes that basically act like a leaky bucket, just draining their potential earnings before they even get traction. So we're going to build a strong sense of what actually works, figure out how to avoid those frustrating traps, and maximize your Clipster income.
All right, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with part 1, the Clipster economy, then move to part 2, how creators get paid. Next is part 3, beginner mistakes to avoid. After that, part 4, strategies for more views. Then we'll level up with part 5, pro creator tactics. And finally, part 6, realistic expectations.
So, starting things off with section 1, the Clipster economy, we really need to understand the basics here.
Before we talk about making money, I really have to leave you with this thought. You cannot maximize your earnings until you truly understand the platform's foundation. Because if you don't know who's paying who, you're just flying blind. So what exactly is Clipster? Well, simply put, it's the middleman connecting brands with creators. Brands want pure, unfiltered attention, and rather than paying a single massive influencer tens of thousands of dollars for just one post, which, let's be honest, is a huge risk, they come to Clipster to run pay-per-view campaigns. It totally democratizes the entire process. Creators like you join these campaigns and earn money by generating those views for the brands. It's incredibly efficient because brands only pay for actual performance. And the best part? You don't need a huge built-in audience to land a deal. You just need to be able to generate views on the specific piece of content you make for that campaign.
Moving right along to section 2, how creators get paid. Let's look at campaigns and payouts.
Now, what's really interesting here is the exact mechanics of how money actually flows from a brand's advertising budget right into your pocket. First off, you have pay-per-view campaigns. This just means you are compensated strictly based on the eyeballs you bring in. Second, there are campaign budgets. A brand will allocate a finite amount of money to a campaign, say $50,000. And because of this, there are campaign caps. Now, this is a crucial concept. Imagine spending hours crafting the perfect video. It goes massively viral, bringing in millions of views. But you posted it a day too late. That $50,000 budget has already been drained by other creators. You hit a cap, and those extra views don't translate to extra cash. No way around it. Understanding this structure helps you realize exactly why getting in early, understanding the budget limits, and acting fast is absolutely vital for your bottom line. But of all the terms in this whole ecosystem, RPM, or rate per million views, is the one you really need to burn into your memory. This single number dictates your entire potential income. Think of your RPM as the precise calculation of what your generated attention is worth to that specific brand. Let's make this concrete. Say a brand sets a $5 RPM, and your video generates 100,000 qualified views. Boom, you've just made $500. If you generate 1 million views, that's $5,000 from a single clip. But if the RPM is only 50 cents, that exact same 1 million views nets you just $500. See the difference? If you don't grasp how your views multiply against that RPM, you simply cannot accurately project your earnings or, honestly, decide which campaigns are actually worth your time. Which brings us to section 3, beginner mistakes to avoid. Look, knowing the payout structure means absolutely nothing if you make common errors that drain your wallet before you even get started. Seriously, imagine spending 4 hours on a perfectly timed, highly engaging edit. You're ready for the views to roll in, but you accidentally use the wrong hashtag, or you ignore a specific campaign instruction, like failing to show the product in the first 5 seconds. Bam, that's an instant disqualification. 4 hours of work, $0. Ouch. Or consider low-quality editing and poor captions. Viewers today are ruthless. They will swipe away instantly. If you upload random clips that don't fit the brand's vibe, the algorithm gets totally confused and won't know who to show your video to. And what about reusing the exact same edit? Don't do it. Platforms and campaigns actively penalize unoriginal, repetitive content.
Every single one of these errors doesn't just lower your view count, it literally takes money straight out of your pocket.
And this brilliantly illustrates a massive fundamental difference: a weak first 3 seconds versus a strong hook paired with fast editing. Let's think about the psychology of a viewer for a second. They're scrolling on their phone late at night, right? They're looking for instant gratification. If your video starts with a pause, a deep breath, or just low energy, that is a weak first 3 seconds. The viewer is gone before you even finish your first sentence. The algorithm registers that immediate drop-off and instantly stops pushing your clip to new feeds. But if you lock them in immediately with a strong, curiosity-inducing verbal hook or a striking visual, and you keep the pace up with fast editing, they stay. You literally have to earn every single second of their attention. In short-form content, retention isn't just important. Retention is absolutely everything.
So if those are the mistakes draining your wallet, what are the exact steps to engineer a viral clip? That's Section 4, Strategies for More Views.
Okay, to maximize your RPM, you have to combine certain elements to create a multiplier effect on your retention. First up, you need large, clear captions. Why? Because a huge percentage of people watch short-form content on mute while commuting or sitting at work. You should also utilize trending music, if the campaign allows it, of course, to catch that algorithmic wave. But above all, listen to this. Emotional storytelling is the real secret weapon. Make the viewer laugh, gasp, or learn something profound. When you pair an emotional story with smooth, seamless transitions, the viewer doesn't even realize the video has looped. Suddenly, you're getting like 120% average view durations. It's crazy. Also, ensure you're doing high-quality exports so the content looks premium. And don't forget optimization. The exact way you title, tag, and format your content dictates whether the algorithm champions your video or completely buries it.
Let's move to Section 5 and see how this builds into pro-creator tactics to really scale your income.
All right, let's transition from basic view generation into the advanced strategies the true professionals use to scale their Clipster income to the next level. This optimization loop, this is what separates the pros from the amateurs. Step 1. Pros don't rely on one golden goose. No way. They upload consistently and join multiple campaigns to diversify their income streams. Step 2. They ruthlessly A/B test. If a video flops, a pro doesn't sit around and cry about it. They change the first 3 seconds, swap the text hook, generate a new thumbnail, and try again to see what the audience clicks on. Step 3. They leverage AI tools. We're talking about software that automatically generates dynamic subtitles, cuts out dead air, or even pulls in relevant B-roll. This speeds up the workflow from hours to mere minutes without sacrificing any quality. And step 4, they meticulously track performance. A pro creator's workflow is built entirely on data. They don't guess what people want, they look at audience retention graphs, pinpoint exactly where viewers scrolled away, and they double down on what the metrics prove is actually working.
Now, let's ground the hype for a minute. Section 6, Realistic Expectations. We've talked a whole lot about maximizing income and viral strategies, but here's the stark reality. There is no guaranteed income here. Your earnings depend entirely on 2 things. First, the specific campaign rates, which fluctuate wildly from brand to brand. And second, your actual verified views. Results will vary enormously between creators. Honestly, it requires real emotional resilience to handle this platform. You might spend a week on a video that completely flops, and then you post a quick 15-minute edit that hits the campaign cap and brings in thousands of dollars. You have to understand and fully accept that this is a purely performance-based economy. It is not a salaried 9-to-5 job for sure. So, the crucial point is this. At the end of the day, consistency matters way more than luck. That is the fundamental thesis of the Clipster economy. Yes, catching an algorithmic boost can absolutely feel like winning the lottery, but you can't build a career on lottery tickets. The creators who actually make a sustainable, long-term living, they're the ones who treat it like a science. They show up every single day, they analyze their attention data, they study why a hook failed, they actively avoid those beginner mistakes we talked about, and they relentlessly apply pro tactics over and over again. Showing up consistently and refining your process is the real absolute secret to mastering this game.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer. Like I said, the creator economy isn't a lottery, it's a science. So I want to pass it over to you. What is your absolute biggest Clipster question? Drop it in the comments below, let's get a conversation going. If you found this explainer helpful in breaking down the mechanics of the creator economy, make sure to subscribe for more insights and creator tips. Good luck with your next campaign and keep creating.